what would you do with the power to manifest instantly? I remember a conversation when I was probably around 10 years old. So this is like almost, 30 or 38 years ago, a little bit more. And I remember sitting at the table and where my parents were there, my sister, my brother. He was little. And my parents, we were all having a conversation about power. And my dad said something about like, God didn't make us all powerful because half of us would be gone. Like we would poof, make people disappear out of anger and all those things. And I think back about the vibration of the planet, almost 40 years ago, it was very different, right? While my parents were teaching us how to emotionally regulate and be sovereign and with our emotions and things like that, that's not necessarily what was taught throughout the world. And we laughed, but the truth is my dad wasn't joking, because imagine what the world would look like if every single thought that you had, if it was infused with emotion, manifested instantly. You would think that, oh my goodness, like, I want you to know that we're here. The earth is shifting, the world is shifting, and that power is something that you're already experiencing. And you would experience it more if you didn't allow triggers and things like that to set you off. Okay. Do you guys remember that show on Netflix, Beef? I only got through the first couple of episodes because it was really intense. And at that time, I was like needing to raise my vibration and focus on some other things. So I never finished it, but I will. But in the movie, I can't remember all of the details, but someone cut the other person off in traffic. And it caused this crazy, like road rage situation. And imagine if you were like, I wish you disappear. And then instantly that person like poof, be gone. Right? Or imagine if, and that's something that wouldn't happen, right? Because we can't force things into other people's world. Like that's just not what we can do, what we do. But what if someone cuts you off in traffic and you spin out of control and then, or blame yourself and then start talking negatively about yourself? You can influence your own reality. You can make things worse when we focus on fear, anger, blame, shame, those like feelings. So like if we take it to something that's actually unfolding in your life, what if mid-launch you're overwhelmed and you're frustrated and you're muttering, I can't do this anymore, I don't want to do this anymore. And then suddenly the energy of your business freezes and the leads stop and then the sales evaporate. Yeah. Or what if on a bad day, like you vent to yourself and you're like, I'm so done with everything. And your body responds and says, okay, let's shut it down. And then you're like wiped out and like you're in bed for like 5 days. It sounds extreme, but here's the truth. This is starting to happen. The veil between the inner world and the outer world is gone. And we're moving to a time where manifestation is happening faster and faster and faster, good and maybe not so good. Maybe things you don't necessarily want. Maybe not the thing that $1 million and all the things. Because the 3D, 5D split is real. It's real. And you felt it, right? The 3D world, we're obsessed with the hustle and control, fear, and all those things. It's crumbling. And there's chaos. And maybe you have a short fuse and you're like, oh my God, I'm being triggered a lot faster. Oh my God, this didn't used to bother me. It's bothering me now. Old systems are crashing and things are going away. And this is because a lot of it isn't coming with us in the 5D. Yeah. The fifth density is a lot lighter, right? The third density is heavier. It's like malleable. It takes time for a thought to become a thing, right? It takes time for you to manifest things. But in a fifth density, instant creation. And this is why creating from trust, from love, from alignment is important. And you are the 4 a.m. club. You are the 144,000. You are the trailblazers. You are the light workers, the people who came here to help humanity shift. And so let me tell you something. You cannot lead others through something when you're still reacting to stuff, when you're still letting everything yank your chain, when you can't be the calm in the middle of the storm and your triggers are running the show. Triggers are blocking your power, and they can be very sneaky. They can be very subtle. They can be big and obvious, or they can be just really, really small. It could be the game you play when you see someone else winning, or you see someone else doing better than maybe they used to, or maybe even better than you. And you're like kind of either wishing them not to do well, or you're like, ugh, why not me? That is a slight, subtle trigger when you can't celebrate and cheer on your fellow sister for her wins. That is a trigger that you get to shift, because when you wish negative on someone, magic doesn't work like they're going to get it. Guess what it works like? You.
Yeah.
you are going to experience resilience. You are separating yourself more from what you want because of that trigger. You see? This is where you're letting disappointment spiral into, self-doubt spiral into days and days, just because a client came to your DMs and said they wanted it, and then they said they didn't, and then they stopped, and then they came back. Yeah, no. An offhand comment by somebody just about something, and you're like, oh, I can't deal with this. If this is the way you're handling it, are you ready for the power? Well, look, you need to buckle up, Buttercup, because it's already happening, and it's helping you manifest things in the opposite direction. So you might be like, why are things like falling apart? Or why does it feel like things were working so easily and now they're not? It's because you are a leader now. And with great power comes great responsibility, being Superman these days. And so you may have been able to manifest things that you desire super fast, but guess what? When you go into that other energy, that's going to manifest just as fast. Doubt will manifest delays. Resistance or resentment will manifest blocks, and fear will manifest lack. What did I say? I said not too long ago, fear makes you easily manipulated. And your triggers are shaping your reality. And if you can just observe them from a curiosity standpoint, not from a standpoint of, what was me and victimization and all of that stuff, curiosity is going to help you win. And so if you want to, and I know you do because you wouldn't be watching me if you weren't part of Grand Club, if you weren't part of the 144 chosen leaders that are meant to lead this world into the 5D, if you know that that's what you are, the first step isn't about strategy, it isn't about an action plan, it's about managing and mastering your inner world. That's why you see so many people that were all about Instagram strategy, this and content strategy, that, and all of that stuff, talking about identity. And it's all about who you are behind the scenes. And it's all about how you manage your interview. And it's all about because they know the truth, because they didn't get the success that they wanted to because of the strategy. It's just the thing, right? Everybody, 100 million strategies can work to create 100 million millionaires. It is about your inner world, and it's about how you manage your frequency. You know what? On the other side of this type of work, you break free from reacting to every single little thing. Small things, big things, everything starts to show up for you, and it feels like it's effortless. For example, maybe you're thinking about filling up your high ticket program, and then all of a sudden dreamy clients are in your DMs begging to pay in full just because you were like thinking about it and you're feeling into it, and you're like, yes, this is what gets to happen for me, and it's done. And you start showing up as that person, and then boom, all of a sudden that person's in your DMs. What about a conversation with your sister one day, and you're like, I really want to blow up my visibility and I'm ready. Then you open up your email, you check an email, and then you just receive instantly a request to be on a top podcast. What if you're talking about hiring a key team member, someone that's going to help you and move you and structure, do the strategy and help you organize and create a team and all of this stuff. And then you're in a retreat, you go to the lunch, you sit at the table, and right next to you sits your new CFO or your COO, whatever. These aren't coincidences. These are glimpses of what is possible when you are someone who has learned to move through their triggers and doesn't let them rule her world. When you fully step into this, you become a magnet, infinite receiver, an instant manifestor. This is what's possible for you. And it's funny, I was talking about this a couple of days ago with my sister, but when we think about the 144,000, light workers are going to be what the new celebrities. You're going to be the one people are talking about around the table, your strategy, the things that you're talking about, the way you're helping people walk into the light, the way you're helping people shift their triggers or go through their shadows, or the way you're writing the content, or the way, whatever you're doing that's going to help people in this world rise into the better person, whether you're a done for you copywriter, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're doing, you're going to be the person that people are talking about. Because you're creating a life, not just for yourself, a great life for yourself, but you're being the example of what's possible for them and helping them to create a greater world. People aren't going to be looking to Hollywood and Wall Street and all of this stuff for leadership anymore. They're going to be looking to you because you're the one helping them do the inner work. You're the one helping them create joy. You're the one who's helping them create an amazing life. You're the one who they go to when they think of, or the one they think about when they're thinking about what their dreams and their aspirations are. And the truth is, you were chosen for this. You are one of 144,000, 144 million, whatever. You are the one that was chosen to lead humanity into the 5D, but it all begins with you. It all begins with you. And so one of the biggest things that we are going to talk about in Unbothered, you need to get an Unbothered. Unbothered Masterclass is happening on 12/26. It is going to be on 12/26. And then there's the second part of the Masterclass that's happening on 12/28. So Thursday and Saturday, there will be replays. If you can't come live, it doesn't matter. It is top-notch, high frequency, not just in those rah, yay, you can do it, vibe up, and then you leave and you have no idea what you're doing. No, this is something that is the prequel to my high-level sugar baby experience. And so this high level sugar baby experience, I was thinking in order for you to go into that ready to go, to hit the ground running, to learn how to be an infinite receiver, to learn the pathway to instant manifestation, to do any of that, you've got to be able to do what's in unbothered. You've got to walk in as an unbothered soul. You got to be somebody that isn't letting everybody yank your chain. We're not doing that anymore, y'all. So unbothered is not about like not liking people or like, oh, I'm unbothered. It's not one of those things. It's one of these things. It's one of those things that maybe things that used to rattle you or make you shake. You've learned how to respond, not react. You've learned how to look at it with curiosity, not with blame, shame, or projection. You've learned how to decide that triggers aren't going to yank your chain or be the thing that's leading, and you're going to let the triggers be on the passenger side, and then put them in the back seat, and then you're going to put them in the trunk, and then you're going to be like, you don't even trigger me anymore. That is what unbothered is all about. Because when you do, unbothered isn't about like feeling calm all the time. It's about becoming unshakable and mastering your emotions so that you can create clarity, not chaos, or that you can be in the midst of the chaos and the eye in the midst of that chaos storm. You'll be able to be one of the ones that people are like, that is someone that I can walk with. That is someone that I can learn from. It's about breaking the cycles, the things that have kept you stuck from fully stepping into your God frequency. And so join me live. It's not a workshop. It's an initiation into the frequency of the 144,000. And the question isn't about whether, it's about when, because it's already happening. And now, do you want to be a trailblazer or do you want to be in the back? And then what I want you to do for homework this whole week, especially now at this time, is I want you to ask yourself today, if every single thought infused with a little bit of emotion manifested instantly in my life right now, what would my life look like? Would it be full of miracles or mess? Would it be full of miracles or full of mess? And the more you can get clear on that you want to be the miracle maker and not the mess maker, you will figure that out. You'll decide. You'll see. So sit there and really ask yourself this question throughout the day, throughout tomorrow, throughout the next day. Am I creating a miracle or am I creating mess with my thoughts and with my emotions? And anytime you see yourself triggered, don't judge yourself. Just say, wow, and start looking at those triggers with curiosity and say, there's something here for me. And start to look at it with power. So on that note, hugs, kisses, and all of the feels. Remember that you are so powerful. You are the 4 a.m. club. You are the 144,000. You have been placed here to do big things in this world. And now it's time for you to show up and show out. Bye.